All right, guys, I'll make a quick crypto video here. It's been extremely bullish over the last couple of weeks for crypto. One reason I'm so bullish on these altcoins, I'll get up in the morning and I'll say, okay, where's Bitcoin? And then, of course, usually that can pretty much tell you where these altcoins are going to be. I think I got up like yesterday morning and Bitcoin was like 117,000. I'm like, oh, maybe Cardano pulled back down to like 70 cents or something like that. And Cardano's like at 80 cents. Now, today, Cardano's at 86 cents. I'm seeing other altcoins are pumping as well. I saw Theta pushing its way back up to $1. I had somebody in my comments a few weeks ago, and I could feel the emotion. You could kind of feel the the retail money emotion as people are just getting bored, people getting pissed off that coins like Theta and Cardano were just not pumping fast enough. And I've been telling you guys, you just have to be patient. The coins that we're in that are going to make us the most money really don't pump until later on in the cycle. Cardano did the same thing last cycle. I always tell you guys how I was selling a lot of my Cardano because it wasn't pumping fast enough. Same with Theta. Theta, the only reason, and one of the reasons, I'll tell you guys, that I did so well with Theta last cycle is because it was very difficult for me to sell it. I had to keep it on some hardware wallet. It was on Binance, but Binance was like throwing people off, so I got it off Binance, and I would have sold a lot more of my Theta, probably at like $2 or $3 versus the $8 or $9 that I sold it at if it was easier to sell. Sometimes when a coin is easy to sell, like on an exchange, like you have the app, it kind of messes you up. So I've kind of learned my lesson. For me, the key is when I see everybody getting overly emotional, I know these coins are going to pump. Same with Ethereum. And I already told you guys, like Ethereum, I kind of thought was dead. I really didn't think institutional money would be coming back into Ethereum this cycle. If you were to ask me 6 months ago, I'd say I don't even think Ethereum's going to pump all that much. Now you're seeing all the big funds buying Ethereum, and all that money basically trickles down to the other altcoins. So overall, everything looking amazing. We really couldn't be asking for anything better. If you've been following my channel for the last year, we pretty much said this summer we were going to go into a bull market, and it looks like that's pretty much what we're getting. We're getting that bull market. We're starting right now. Alt season is starting. I think we're probably going to have a couple months of this. I think by this time next month, a lot of these prices are going to be off the charts. Cardano is definitely going to be over $1. This time next month, I'm looking for like $1.30, $1.50 Cardano. Then after that, you're going to see a lot of these lower cap coins, a lot of these gaming coins do their thing, like Hex, Vulcan Forge, Render, sometimes you put Theta in with that as well, T-Fuel. I do think we're probably going to get like a $5 to $10 Theta. I know if you were asking me this time last year, I probably would have said like a $20 Theta. I think between $5 and $10 is more realistic. So we're going to be getting some insane gains, and it looks like everything is on track. So all you guys who are worried and having a freak out over the last couple months, you should be at a little at ease right now. Here's an article I found. Ethereum enters its final wave of a multi-year bull run. Ether has broke above 3,800 for the first time since December 2024, according to data from CoinGecko. The surge puts Ethereum market cap over 450 billion, officially locking in its strongest price level in 7 months. And that's what we are. You always say we already had the first wave for Ethereum, which was back in December. Now we're getting that final wave. All these altcoins are going to be going into their final pump. We're at the end of the bull market, guys. We're at the last 90 percentile of this bull market. The cycle is basically over in about 2 months. It's going to be all over. This time next year, it's going to be all hell, bedlam. I've already made my predictions on MicroStrategy, people getting arrested, Sam Bankman-Fried's being exposed, probably Michael Saylor. You pick your coin. All these exchanges are going to be crashing. Right now is the time to be in these coins because it's going to be all hell next year. So yeah, everybody's buying Ethereum. We already pretty much discussed that. And of course, what do people do after Ethereum pumps? The confidence builds up, and then people get into your other altcoins like Cardano. Haven't talked about Theta in a while. Theta is one of those coins that, out of all the coins that I probably have like 10 or 15 cryptos. It's one I don't really look up all that much because I have full faith in the people running it. You guys know I love Charles Hoskinson. And I think he's way better than like the Solana founders and Chainlink. I saw an interview with a Chainlink guy the other day. He looked like a sleazeball to me. Like, I trust Charles Hoskinson, but would it surprise me if it turned out he was a little bit full of shit? No, he's already been caught doing certain things like lying about his education, stuff like that. I mean, I've done stuff like that before in the past, so yeah, not that big of a deal. But when I look at Theta, a coin I've been in since 2018, 2019, I just love the people running it so much. You got Google connections, you got YouTube connections, you got people who went to MIT, graduated from MIT, running Theta. I just don't look all that much. I buy it and I forget it. It made me a lot of money last cycle, and I know it's going to make me a lot of money this cycle. It went up to $3 in December, went back down to 50 cents. That's basically what happens after the first wave. I think we're probably going to get $5 to $10. Doing a little bit of research on Theta. I mean, they're very active on Twitter. They're always coming out with new updates, letting people know what's going on. They pretty much have an AMA, if you look, every month or two. And so somebody put on Twitter here, I fancy protocols that survived bear markets and kept on building during those times. One of them is Theta, a decentralized cloud for AI, media, and entertainment. And like I've always said with Theta, we know they're big into gaming. They're even bigger into AI. The video processing that they do, the decentralized video. Like, I think it's just going to be huge. We could get a $20 Theta this cycle, but again, I just think we have a timing issue. I think eventually Theta is going to be worth $1,000. Maybe in 10 years, maybe 5 years. Theta is one of those coins I'm always going to be in some capacity. When I sell all my Theta in a month or two, I'll probably buy back in the bear market and basically check back in going into the bull market. I'm not going to be as heavy as I am right now, but I have no problem putting $10,000, $20,000 back into Theta in the bear market because I know it's going to make me a couple $100,000 going into the bull market. So I know I don't talk about Theta a lot, but I think Theta is probably going to outperform Cardano. I just don't talk about it because there's really not that much to say. You can go on their Twitter. There's no drama. They're building in the bear market. They're doing everything you would want a project to do. American-based company. Everybody's talking about the Trump build. Like, he's favoring American companies. Theta is born in America, San Francisco company. They have offices in San Francisco. And like I said, you can just go on their website. You can go on the Twitter, and you can basically see every 2 days, every day, they pretty much have an update on Theta and what they're working on. So yeah, I mean, Theta's pushing $1 again. It's going to do exactly what it did back in December. It's going to be $2, $3 before you know it. Probably this time next month, maybe even before we're back to a $2 or $3 Theta. And then hopefully we can get that $5 to $10 in the coming months. The real trick with Theta is, and a lot of these other coins as well in Cardano, when Theta gets to like $4 or $5, you have to make that decision. Do I sell or do I wait? And that's kind of when you're playing Russian roulette. Do I sell my Theta and hope for an $8 Theta or a $10 Theta, or do I sell my Theta at $4 or $5 and take all my winnings and go home? That's the stressful part. Selling is going to be stressful. Right now it's smooth sailing. There's no stress. We know Cardano's getting to $2 or $3. We know Theta's getting to $5. The question is, what do we do after that? And that's when I'm going to be pulling my hair out, like trying to figure out what to do. All right, so let's see if there's anything else. So Cardano price forecast, Cardano to $5. Analyst thinks it's possible, but thinks sub. Sorry, my mic cut off there. Cardano following more than a 40% rally earlier this month. Many traders are eyeing $1.14 and $2.90 resistance. I think there's going to be a giant, big old donkey dookie dump when we get to about $2.50, $3 Cardano. I think a lot of people are waiting to sell then. I'm personally waiting to sell then. I mean, I'm probably going to sell most of my Cardano at like $2.50, but you have to realize if you're holding out for a $5 Cardano, we could get it, but we're probably going to hit like $3 and dump right back down to $2 and maybe level off for about 2 or 3 weeks before we go back up. There's also that possibility we hit $3 and that's resistance and that's it. We're done with Cardano for the cycle and we're going back into a bear market. That kind of comes down to what I was just talking about. Like, the hardest part is when do we sell? And guys, I have no freaking idea at that point. When Cardano hits $3, I would say sell, but it could go to $5. Same with Theta. When it hits $4 or $5, it could go to $10, but if you want to take that risk, set some stop losses, maybe sell half your bags at $2 or $3. But if you think you're going to get the exact top or bottom in these crypto markets, you have another thing coming. I've been in these markets since 2017. I know a lot of people in these markets. I don't know anybody who ever got the top. Not one person. I know a lot of people have been in crypto. It just don't work that way. Same with the bottom. I know a few people who bought on flash crashes and got close to the bottom, but nobody ever gets the exact bottom. And if you do get the bottom, it's basically pure luck. All right, guys. Other than that, I saw Rand Nooner was just talking about those market indicators where you can know we're kind of like getting to a top zone. Play a little bit of this. I've been talking about that, a bunch as well. Just like when your friends who don't talk to you very often start talking about crypto, your Uber drivers talking about it, your dentist, also Google searches, things like that.
The Google trends over long periods of time, and I check to see what the peak in Google searches are. The big trick here, though, is in this cycle, probably you shouldn't be looking for Bitcoin searches. Probably things like Ethereum, probably things like altcoins, because a lot of people have already searched what is Bitcoin, how to buy Bitcoin, where is Bitcoin. So be careful not to fall into this trap. But what you can see is that every time that the Google trends peak, that usually signifies the top or the near top of the cycle. And so what you've got three indicators here that tell you when retail is here. One is the Coinbase app rankings. The second one is the YouTube views. And the third one is the retail interest or the Google interest, things that are happening over time.
Yeah, so obviously there are three indicators you can use. That kind of falls down to what I was saying, your friends and things like that, talking about crypto. But I think we're probably going to be there. Like, I think we're not there yet. But I think this time next month, you're going to hear a lot more about crypto. A lot more of your friends are going to be talking about it. I think CNBC is going to be going crazy. Also, when you have to remember, Tom Lee is now big in that Ethereum fund. I think when Ethereum blows past $4,000, I think you're going to have an influx of people. It's kind of like, I missed the boat. The people who are kind of waiting for a dump, the people who didn't believe in crypto, when they see Ethereum hit $4,000, I think they're going to be pouring into Tom Lee's fund. Probably going to take Ethereum to $5,000 or $6,000 relatively quickly, in all honesty. And of course, that's going to benefit all the other cryptos, and that's probably when we'll see our $2 Cardano, $5 Theta. Like, I think it's coming, guys. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if by this time next month, or at least by the end of next month, we're pretty much almost ready to get out of these cryptos and basically say bye-bye. See you in 4 years. Like it's coming. Like, we need to really start paying attention now. It's kind of serious time. My antennas are up. There was a period about 6 months, probably after December, I wasn't even really following crypto all that much. I was going for my daily runs, not even listening to crypto stuff. I was like we're in a bearish period for the next couple months. I forgot about it. Right now, I'm crypto all day. I'm reading articles all day. I'm listening to every crypto influencer just to see what they're talking about. CNBC, I got the CNBC app. Anytime Tom Lee's on there, I'm watching it, because this is when winners are made. In the next couple months is when the winners are made and the losers are made as well. The people who, you have to remember, I've said it a million times, most people do not sell. A lot of people in crypto have money on paper that they made, and they brag to everybody. I made $20,000. I'm up $100,000. Oh my God, I'm up $500,000. Most of those people don't even sell, especially the newbies. They're going to follow that media. They're going to follow the hype on TV. When Bitcoin hits $150,000, all the YouTubers and all the influencers and Michael Pompliello is going to come on CNBC, tell everybody it's gone to 500,000. Most people are not going to sell their cryptos. It's very sad. I've heard about suicides. I've read suicide stories on Reddit of people not selling their cryptos, people up $800,000. They hold right back into the bear market. It goes right back down to $20,000. And you also have to remember, some of these coins do not come back next cycle. Like, we try to pick good quality coins on this channel, but sometimes your coin just don't come back. So there's no guarantee if you don't sell in 4 years, you're going to be able to sell again. Your coin could be completely dead. So we want to be completely out. Obviously, we're going to get back in a little bit in the bear market and see, and just for the fun of it. But for me, this is my main cycle where I'm heavily invested and I just have to make the right moves. For me, $2 Cardano, $2.50 Cardano, I've hit my goal. $4 Theta, $5 Theta, I've hit my goal. That's kind of what I'm looking at for a lot of these coins. Litecoin, $400, I've kind of hit my goal. I'm not looking to get the top. I'm basically just looking to make some decent life-changing money. And like I said, the biggest mistake you can ever make is not selling. I was talking about the Theta store. I sold half my Theta at $8. I kept the rest because I thought it might keep going up. It went up to like $12, $13, and I just kept holding it. And then the next thing you know, it goes down to 25 cents again. So like, that's like you're talking like $100,000 where I was, and it goes down to like $2,000. Like this is the kind of devastation that can happen if you don't sell at the right time. All right, guys, other than that, everything looking good. I think next week is going to be a good week for crypto. Remember, we're going to get flash crashes. We're going to get bad weeks. We're going to get good weeks. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a pullback at some point next week. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a flash crash next week where basically the big whales are basically trying to scoop things up. But the one thing I'm noticing right now, Bitcoin dominance coming down, Bitcoin leveling off after that 120, now we're at 118, and a lot of people are flowing into these altcoins. So, guys, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. Let's give it a couple months, and I honestly hope it's quite possibly by October. By October, we're completely out of these markets, and we're just basically counting our money. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.